very delightful.
Thank you, Father.
Lovely, lovely things. Are those to be recorded?
I just recorded them.
They're just recorded and will be out available very shortly, I suppose.
I hope so.
I do, too.
The country doesn't go out of business.
Well, no trouble. I think a lot of people are probably intrigued, Nat, by the horn with the, what is it called?
The electric horn?
Electric,
Yeah, it's a baritone.
A baritone.
It's called a baritone.
Now, what does this do? And because there's so many effects that you seem to be able to achieve.
Yeah, I don't have all the gizmos hitched up there.
Is that
and
right?
I don't know what the proper name for all of them are, but you can get a tremolo effect, an echo effect, and, of course, the two notes.
You know, the octave.
The octave, tonic octave.
And this is something quite relatively new, because I think I've heard, I think Don Ellis has been using it on the
Don
West
Ellis,
Coast with his big
the
band.
big band uses a brass section full of them, and then Clark Terry made a record with one, and it has its advantages.
Nat, do you feel, well, tell us first about the piano, then, the electric piano, which is another new thing as far as, the first time I heard this was a recent concert at Duke Ellington that he did at St. John Cathedral here in the city.
Right.
And he used it a little bit. And how do you feel about all these things?
I feel that any way we can improve the quality of the music without losing the individuality of the performer, we've got something. And it can readily be done with these instruments. There's some that I'm not quite sure of yet. But, of course, we use the electric piano very often, and we made a big hit record with one.
Yes, I know, yeah.
And I like to think that it adds something.
So that I think if this is the standard, that it adds something in a legitimate way, or do we want to use that word, or what?
Well, I think that it adds a quality that we could not get from a standard piano. And I prefer to think of it as adding to the music rather than many other things that I have heard about electronic instruments. But it remains to be seen whether they're going to have a really valid effect on music at this point.
Yeah.
But for now, I just don't like for anything to, like be out in front of you and you're not taking advantage of it.
Well, I agree, and I think a lot of times some of the criticism has been leveled, I think, at jazz, even though it's always looked upon as very contemporary, that sometimes in this area there's been a certain reluctance, I think, because they felt it was artificial or a gimmick.
Well, we're always ready to accept new musical innovations, and sometimes the physical innovations that make the music we're not so willing to. But, well, I'm willing to try anything.
Who's the big influence on you? If we were to pick one out, because
one big influence, I'd have to take four.
Four, give me four.
Dizzy Gillespie, Clark Terry, Miles Davis, Kenny Dorham.
Those big four. All right. Well, I've got to send you back so we can see the influences. And the tune is going to be the work song, right?
Right.
Well, you go back and get ready, and meanwhile, we'll tell people that this is... How many recordings have we had?
Oh, 89.